The engine is starting up. 3, 2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us?
Putting a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is Rift Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Sensitive/offensive content disclaimer. Please note that this podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Becon in the dark for you. Reach out, grab that spark. Wisdom waits in silent hues. Find your path out of the dark. Thursday night, the time is near. Guidance shines at 9:30. Eastern winds will draw you here. Hearts and minds no longer blurry. Your fate lies in your own hands. Wisdom flows like desert sands. Knowledge hidden in plain sight. Reach for it with all your might.
Welcome back, everybody. Oh my God, it's been so long. Did you miss me? Or you're tired of seeing me? So welcome back to Becon in the Dark. So thank you for showing up again, guys. And tonight on Becon in the Dark, we have a really awesome guest who's going to be nice enough to share his experiences with us. And of course, you guys all know who this awesome dude is, because he happens to be one of our hosts. Pretty awesome. So, Mr. Keith Ottersberg from the Otters Den. Welcome.
Hey,
How you doing? Oh, love the background.
thank you.
Love that. It's really nice. Oh,
I really love that.
yeah, I do too. I like that. I like the background. I got boxes in mine right now, so. So,
There's nothing wrong with a good cardboard box.
well, good. I hope people like bananas, because I got tons of those around right now. That's what happens when you got to move. But
Period.
tonight, it's like I was looking for stories of people that have been through pretty much, I don't care, been to hell and back again. And it's like, all right, I put the word out. And Keith's like, hey. And I'm like, hey, he fits.
Hey,
So I just thought everybody out here, they see us hosts doing this, doing that, but nobody really truly knows what we've been through as individuals. And we all do this for a reason.
Yeah.
So I figured it would be a good time to, so to speak, let everybody know the things that you've been through and how far you've come. And some of them you're still dealing with. Now, me, myself, I don't know that much, but I guess we're all going to find this out together. So we're going to say hello to everybody that's out here. We have Ashley's Paranormal Research. Awesome. Zisan, Michelle Winfong, host. Oh, wait, that's me. Renee Coate. And of course, Michelle Caps, Nikki Jacobs, and Zisan. Welcome, everybody. Don't forget to share. This is the first night for the double dose of the old broad on the TV on Thursday. Yeah. So
thank you for joining.
So let's start from the beginning. There's only so much I do know. I do know that you had an issue with your house. Don't know when that happened, but I also know that you had past paranormal experiences. Mm-hmm. Now, which one came first?
Well, that's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Because, I really don't know for sure. Because, especially now, today, just now moment, doing research on things that I couldn't remember from my life, and we'll get to that here in a little bit.
Okay.
Every house that my family has lived in has been haunted. So, chicken or the egg? Was it the house or what was passed down in my father's lineage?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
And was what was passed down from my father's lineage a blood curse? Were we drawn to that haunted home to live in so that what was passed down could draw energy from what was already there?
Yeah, that's true.
When you really start digging into your life and why things start happening, I'm going to be honest with you right now. I thought I was literally going wacko. I was ready to check myself into somewhere.
Wow.
I also had other people gaslighting me into thinking that I was that way to gain control over reactions and situations. Now I can recognize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to play this game. We ain't playing this game.
No.
Been there, done that.
Now, what would you consider the worst part of what you have been through? Or at least the first worst part?
The first worst part was the physical abuse that I went through from the paranormal.
Wow.
And then next came the mental abuse that I went through from the paranormal. And then next was, and I got to say, it's not necessarily in this order. This is just the order I'm putting it out. The psychological damage that it did. And not only from what the paranormal did to me, not only what my friends, family, and loved ones did to me, because it also affected them. But I think what hurt the most is what I did to other people. Because looking back at my life, I was not a nice guy. I'm going to try to watch my language tonight. This is in the Otters Den. It's not. I'm going to do my best to watch myself.
I slip with the S word, so.
But I had to literally go through a 6-month-long dark night of the soul. If you don't know what that is, look it up. You'll learn more by looking it up and reading about it than by me telling you about it.
Right.
But I'm supposed to say, everybody's felt depression. Okay, take the worst that you felt and multiply it by 10. you will sit in the dark for a long time questioning everything.
Exactly.
And it's actually one of the best things that can happen to you, because you will find so much strength in yourself to get through that. And then all of a sudden, while you're sitting in your little, well, in my instance, my Scorpio cave, in the dark, under a rock, there's a rock in front of your front door, in front of your back door. Ain't nobody getting in your house. It's just you and your mind, you and your heart. And all of a sudden you get up and I got up. I walked upstairs and I looked in my bathroom mirror, which is right there. And I not only looked at myself, but I looked in myself. And I started asking myself questions. What got you here? Why are you here? Why is all this happening to you? And then I thought, wait, what is this teaching me? Maybe it's not why. Maybe it's not what words. The brain's not working tonight. TBI from a car accident.
Oof.
I had to ask myself, and I had to make myself say to myself verbally so my ears could hear it. Don't ask why is this happening to you. Ask what is this teaching you. And that's the moment when I really looked within and I saw everything that I did to other people. And I had to admit to myself that I did those things. And then I had to think to myself why I did those things. Where did that come from? Because that's not me. I remember myself before my first paranormal experience at 6. I was a good kid. And then after my first paranormal experience, once I started getting my memories back, and I'll get back to that, I remember how things changed and the way my thoughts changed.
Now, all of this that you were going through had to do with that blood curse that was passed down?
Not all of it.
Not all of it, but a
Some
lot
of
of it, some of it.
Like on a lot of cases, it was a combination of issues. The blood curse that was passed down on my father's side. What affected me when I was 6 years old when I had my first paranormal experience. And what was in every house that we moved into. It was a combination of everything. It was a combination of all that and how the different entities affected not only me, but my family members, my friends, throughout the years, coworkers. It's mind-boggling to sit here and think about it all. It took me a long time before I could talk about it. I have been healing for 7 years now.
Sometimes it takes a long time.
If you don't know, I was on a show called The Dead Files, and I see your comments, Renee. Thank you. Much appreciated. It was season 10, episode 11. The title is Till Death. And the show ended with them, putting the disclaimer up. They are still looking for help. At that time that it aired, we were not still looking for help. Amy had sent a very talented team by the name of the Spirit Mechanics from Kentucky up to Nebraska. That's a hell of a jaunt, just saying, 12 hours.
Wow. Yeah.
And if anything could happen to stop them from getting here, it did. Snow, floods, you name it. But they made it. And when they got here, I knew they were in town before they even pulled in my driveway. I felt it. I was standing at my front door when Steve, the leader, the founder, knocked. And I opened the door and I looked at him and he looked at me and he kind of went, "Oh, hi." And I wanted to punch through the screen door and literally knock his head off his shoulders into the street, which is about 30 yards.
Wow.
But I found the strength to allow him in my home, and I'm glad I did. And I had help with that. I had the members of my own paranormal team, Cobra Paranormal, here. Spirit Mechanics were gracious enough to allow them to be here during this process to learn.
Wow.
And they were impressed with the team skills. And he, when everything was all said and done, he pulled me aside and said, "Hey, I like what you guys have to offer. Would your team like to be the Nebraska chapter of the Spirit Mechanics?" So we are. I am a spirit mechanic, and I have helped on, I believe, 4 Dead Files cases now. Wow. And it is a wonderful opportunity to help other people regain their lives like mine was handed back to me.
Wow. I mean, that in itself, just what you've been through on a paranormal aspect, on the spiritual aspect, is kind of devastating. It's like surprising that you kept going right then and there. You could have just given up, but you didn't. What made you keep going?
I did.
You did.
I did give up.
Aha. Do tell.
I did give up a couple times.
Huh.
Things got so dark in my life, I just did not want to be in this plane of existence anymore. And I need to back up because that point came from this point.
Okay.
So I need to follow the timeline.
Okay.
And time has no meaning to me because of my traumatic brain injury. But around 20 years ago, give or take 5, I don't know. I was going home for lunch from work. I work in an auto parts store.
Right.
And I lived right next to Spady Runcie. It was a Chevrolet dealer. They had a body shop, painted cars. And the guy that runs the shop needed some green tint to make a color. So I told my boss, "Hey, I'll just drop it off on the way home." Okay. Well, I'm sitting there at the stoplight at 19th and Court in Beatrice, Nebraska, at a red light. And it turns green. I look this way. I see a van way down. I look this way. I always look both ways. Nothing's coming. Take my foot off the brake, start to go. Turn back to look this way again. And Dodge van. Boom. Doing about 50.
Wow.
I didn't remember at first, but I do now. Bouncing back and forth. I did have my seatbelt on, but since I got T-boned, I went like that. And I hit my head 3 different times on the pillar by the window. And that's where my TBI came from. Screwed my shoulder up, my knee, my hip. Ended up, I broke my back. I broke my neck. My skull, we later found out, was knocked off of my spine by a 1/2 inch.
Ouch.
I shouldn't be here. And it took a bit, but I remembered it going black. And then standing outside of my car, just looking around, and I looked in the car and I saw me laying there. And I'm like, well, crap. Now what? I knew what happened.
Yeah. You
I'm
passed.
like, now what? There wasn't a tunnel. There wasn't a light. And I heard, not yet. You got work to do. And the next thing I know, it goes black again. I'm opening my eyes in the car. I'm realizing I can't breathe. So I reached around and, your floating ribs on the bottom.
Yeah.
Well, they were all crossed over each other like that. And I couldn't breathe. So I just went, shoved them back out and down and in. Then I could breathe. Then I got mad.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to say the word mad because the other word starts with a P.
Ooh.
And I kicked the door open, and I shouldn't have been able to because the car was horseshoed. They should have had to use the jaws of life to open the door. They still don't know how I did it. I got out as the cop was pulling up, as the ambulance was pulling up, and I started walking towards this guy, and I was going to rip his head off. And a little bitty officer in town by the name of, we called her Downtown Brown.
Okay.
We had several altercations in the past.
Uh-oh.
And she saw me walk in and she pulled her gun. And she said, Mr. Ottersberg, I suggest you sit down. I said, no, I'm going to kick his ass. And so she moved over in front of me between us and said, no, Keith, sit down. All right. All right. So I went to the hospital in the ambulance. I sat on a backboard in the x-ray room for 3 hours before they came in.
Jesus.
And they took all kinds of x-rays and everything, and cool and groovy pictures. They missed everything. They sent me home.
Ooh.
Broken back, broken neck, decapitated. There's a term for it. Can't remember what it is. Yeah, they sent me home.
Wow.
I had enough adrenaline in me. I couldn't feel anything at that time. Next day I woke up, I could not move. Now, between my first paranormal experience and that day, I pretty much shut down my abilities unconsciously, which caused some health issues. But that day they started waking back up, and I understood that day that I needed to reach for help. And I saw a physiatrist, a skeletal doctor in Omaha, who prescribed me pain medications. And I told him point blank, I don't want anything addictive. I come from an addictive family.
Right.
I don't know anything about this. Nothing addictive. So he prescribes me the highest dose of, can't remember the name of it, Oxy, that family.
Oh, boy.
And just says, take them when you need them.
Uh-huh.
Well, I found out real quick that the longer you take it, the shorter it lasts. I didn't know anything about medication back then. I do now.
Yeah.
But it got pretty bad. And I was trying to get a car finished up in the garage. I do mechanic work on the side because I wanted to take my, at the time, first wife out that night. We discussed it. And I told her, just you and me, don't invite anybody. I'd pop one, 30 minutes later, pain was back.
Oh, boy.
As needed. Well, then she tells me that she invited two of our friends along.
Oh, boy.
Ticked me off, but okay. So we go out to dinner. Told her I'm buying. When the bill comes, she pulls out a Purple Royal Crown bag full of change to pay. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. So, there's that. Ticked me off. We walked out, and the other couple asked, okay, what are we doing now? I said, I don't know why, but I don't really think that I should go to a bar. I just need to say that.
Yeah.
And where does my ex-wife make us go?
A bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember starting off on Mountain Dew. I was drinking Mountain Dew.
Right.
So I had some control there, but then that went away. And you figure you take 9 or 10 of those pills in a 4-hour period and then drink over a 12-pack on top of that.
Oof.
Shouldn't be here.
Nope.
Woke up the next day, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, looked around my house, and I thought a tornado hit.
Uh-oh.
So I ran outside to see if my neighbors were okay. There's no damage outside. I was the tornado.
Oh, wow.
She told me that all of a sudden she woke up and I was standing over the bed, just staring at her.
Huh.
Now, this also happened to my second wife. And that's one of the reasons why I found the strength to reach out for help. You see that a lot in paranormal movies, in cases.
Right.
The blackouts, you don't remember things,
Yep.
You do things, and you don't think you did those things, even though the other person insists that you did. Hence where the am I crazy thing comes in. I destroyed that house.
Wow.
But once I realized that that's what I did, after I replaced the front door, because I put my fist through it so hard that I actually sent wood into the street, which was literally 30 feet away.
Wow.
I went in, I found those pills, and I opened it. I dumped them in the toilet. And yes, I know that's not how you're supposed to get rid of them, but at the time I didn't know and I didn't care.
Right.
Flushed it, threw the bottle on the floor because I had refills on it. I crushed it, I threw it away, and I haven't looked back. But I can't go smoking. But I found the strength to do that. Life's, I'm going to say it, been a bitch.
Yeah.
But I'm still here. I found the strength to ask for help. I looked for years for help. I had multiple teams come investigate our homes, both the one in Beatrice and the one here. Yeah, they got all kinds of evidence, but nobody could tell me what was happening. I was even on a paranormal team at the time, not my own now, but the previous. And they came and investigated. And nobody could find anything big, mean, and nasty. Well, that's because it was being hidden. And Amy saw the actual problem. We were sitting in my living room downstairs.
Yeah.
At a table, all set up, candles lit, for the reveal. We're filming.
Yeah.
And she comes down the stairs, and I don't remember if they showed it on the show or not, but the look on her face scared me. And I knew right then and there, okay, she knows what it is. And then I told myself, nah, she knows who it is. I was the problem. I was the problem.
So it attached itself to you.
It did more than attached. It invaded. It was possession.
Wow.
Since I was 6 years old. My first paranormal experience was my dad took us fishing to Rockford Lake. And you can pull into the beach area and you walk down a hill, and there's an outhouse at the top of the hill, and there's bushes at the middle of the hill.
Right.
Then there's the beach, and then there's an area over here where you can fish, and that's where we were. And, a 6-year-old kid, stubborn, fishing, drinking pop, not going when you should, and then all of a sudden you got to go. So I'm running up that hill.
Yeah.
And that outhouse is a long ways away. Hey, there's these bushes. We're the only ones here. So I peed in the bushes.
Yeah.
And you know how when you're driving down a highway and it's hot and it looks like water?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I saw out of the corner of my eye in one spot. As I'm peeing. And the next thing you know, I get knocked on my ass.
Huh.
And I ran back down. I was scared. I didn't say anything to anybody. But that night, at my house in Beatrice, I'll set it up. You walk in the front door, you walk in the living room, then there's a dining room.
Yeah.
To the right was my room. When you first walked in the front door, to the right was my mom and dad's room. And in between those two rooms was the bathroom.
Right.
So you had to either go through my mom and dad's room or my room to get to the bathroom.
Huh.
So there's 2 doors. And in that bathroom are 4 other closet doors you could open, shelves. That's where we kept all the board games and everything.
Yeah.
And that's where the chimney went up through, the brick chimney.
Oh, wow.
I just laid down to go to bed. I was awake, and I heard a noise, and I looked in there, and the light was on. Mom left the light on with the door cracked a little bit. The door opened. Like, what the? Closet doors boom open, and all of a sudden the chimney explodes.
Wow.
And there's this old dude in a red coat. And I used to think it was a shotgun, like one of those old muskets.
Right.
I thought it was like a Revolutionary War soldier for a long time. It wasn't. What he had was a bow in one hand and a violin in the other. And Renee, I forgot to talk to you about that. He was trying to crawl out of the rubble to get me. And I'm sitting there in bed trying to scream. Nothing is coming out. So finally I started throwing stuff.
Yep.
Mom hears that, comes in, walks right through it, doesn't see it. And finally I can tell it, that. And she's like, there's nothing there. And just tells me to go back to bed, lays me down, covers me up. I do this.
Yep.
Kid gonna do, kid's gonna hide. And I just kept telling myself, I don't want to be alone. 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 Yeah. And all of a sudden I heard, you don't have to be. I can stay with you.
Uh-oh.
And the okay just came out.
Uh-oh.
That's all it took. That was a deal.
Yep.
And over time, with me doing the paranormal investigations, trying to learn about what was happening to me, it saw that I was gaining strength. My gifts were getting stronger, and it kept trying to keep control over me by separating people from me.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes through my own actions. I will admit that. But it finally realized that if I kept going, it wasn't going to be able to stay here, and it was trying to take me out.
Oh, boy.
That's when I finally found the show, because I was watching all kinds of paranormal shows on TV, trying to get help. And I was flipping through channels one night, and I see Amy's face. I'm like, whoa, what's this? I finished watching that show. I'm like, that's the team. So I reached out to them, emailed them. It took me about 2.5 to 3 years for them to actually pay attention to me. And I had them coming, and then all the activity just stopped. And they had a couple cases with kids, and they're like, okay, you're calming down. Can we go to this? Yeah, absolutely. Go help those kids.
Right.
6 months later, everything starts up. So I get back a hold of them. In the meantime, their producers changed. So I had to start all
over again.
But I finally got them here. Amy walked through the house. Really didn't believe what she saw, but she did. Both of them thought that we needed to move, and I kept fighting that. I'm like, no, I can't. I got to face this.
Yeah.
Because it kept following me. Every place we moved, it came along. And Steve even asked me, you're willing to give up your marriage to save your house? I'm like, no, I'm willing to give up what I need to in order to save what I need to. He didn't get it until Amy saw me, and then she understood. Then she understood why I was so intense on not moving and fighting this. I was the problem. Along with the big guy who's now my buddy in the backyard. That was a blood curse. One of my father's ancestors in Germany killed a fae, and the rest of them cursed him with a protector. Not a protector of the person, but a protector of the fae.
Yeah.
So every firstborn male in that family, this thing would move to. I was getting my tail kicked in the backyard.
Wow.
Anytime I would get close to this tree, I would get my tail kicked. And eventually I was taught how to make protection jar. And I caught this individual, and I buried him for 6 months as I was learning. And I said, screw it. I dug it up, and we had a chat. I said, this is what happened then. I apologize for that. It was not me. That was them. Let's start over. Let's start fresh. You like that tree? You can live in that tree as long as you help protect the property. You help keep the nasty stuff out. I'll help protect you. You help protect me. Deal. He said, cool. All right. Open the jar. Lay him out. We've been buddies ever since.
Huh. Wow.
So not everything big and nasty is always big and nasty. Sometimes it can be reasoned with.
Right.
And I've been rambling. I haven't been paying attention to the comments. I apologize.
That's okay. I haven't either. I've been listening. So I'm really intense on this because these are things I did not know. Now, I'm going to get to the comments in a minute, but
yeah,
all of this stuff happened prior to the house burning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of what I thought.
It had been 2 or 3 years. since the Dead Files and the Spirit Mechanics had been here, I had just gotten into a relationship for 4 months that was going well, but over time there were, those little red flags.
Yeah.
But I just attributed that to, everybody's got to get used to each other.
Right.
You're going to have your differences. So I was patient. I just kept trying to work through them. And then the trauma of the fire hit, and it burned this person's mask just right off. And all of a sudden, there they are, full force.
Right.
And I wasn't supposed to be there. And I think this fire was part of a blessing telling me that. So I finally found the strength after almost putting myself into a cardboard box, shutting myself off from everybody, my friends, my family, everybody. I said, no, you promised yourself you weren't going to do this again. Open that box up and stand up. So I did.
Holy shit.
And I asked for a break.
Wow.
I didn't say get. I said, I sat her down. Hey, we need a break. We were living in the rental block over. And I was very nice. I said, hey, with everything we've been through, this is where I'm at. I need a break. We need a break so we both can get our heads and our hearts figured out and see if there's anything left that we can salvage out of this.
Right.
I offered to go stay at my son's in Beatrice, 20 minutes away, for a couple of weeks.
Right.
She could stay at the rental. Everything was paid for. She went off. And the next day I came home for lunch, and she informed me that she was moving to Texas. I'm like,
Oh boy.
Trying to get that, oh, please don't go.
Yeah.
I said, okay, well, that's a pretty big break, but if that's where you want to go, to your friend's house, let's get you there. So I went back to work and I got packing boxes and packing paper and brought it home. And I started packing her things.
Yes.
And said, are you going to help? Let's get you to your friends. So she started helping, and I don't know how, but I got all of her stuff into her vehicle. Put the address in her phone, plugged it in, hit go, shut the door, and watched her drive down the road.
Yeah, that to me, the way that you're talking about this sounds like a manipulation, like have me not go type thing. I hate that.
I could go on. I'm doing my best to be nice here. I really am, because I pray my best that this person is healing,
right,
for their own good and for everybody's good that, in their life. I want them to succeed. I don't want to see them hurt. I don't want to see them go down the tunnel. I want to see them succeed in life.
right.
I want all my exes to succeed, just not here.
Yeah.
Just not here.
I agree with that. Let's see what we got going on in the chat room before we go any farther. I got so engrossed in what you were talking about that I couldn't focus on the chat room. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Z-Sun. Hey, Keith. Let's see what's going on.
Wait, while you're checking the comments out,
Yeah.
I apologize. I will be right back.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
That's okay. You take that short break. Let's see. Was just thinking. Let's see. Heidi. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Who is this with Susan? That's Keith. I know. Cool room though. Let's see what else we got going on. Hey, Heidi. It's okay. Hi, Howie. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Ken. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, the story that he is talking right now, it's like, wow. I'll tell you, that's pretty intense. Ashley, paranormal research. Yeah, don't forget, guys, tomorrow is the debut of a brand new show. And the girls have an awesome special guest on tomorrow night. So that's going to be pretty cool. You're going to enjoy this. Uncharted Realms. Pretty awesome show. I'm looking forward to myself to seeing that. So Showing the Xmas here tonight. Supposed to stop at 3 a.m. Ah, so I guess there's some weather happening over here. Yeah. So no, I got nothing over here. Just rain. But wow. Yep. And let's see how he says. Keith, maybe the person and the event of the fire actually brought an end to the story.
It was a blessing.
Yes. And then Howie again. Holy crap, bam. Yeah, that was a lot. I mean, what you have been through as an individual it's unbelievable.
I used to think
it makes people wonder. And then on top of that, you're dealing with a fire that actually comes around and takes your entire house. Literally. Yeah, Heidi agrees with me. She was just like intently engrossed listening here.
actually it didn't take the entire house.
Okay.
It took the interior.
Okay.
The interior.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I say it like that.
Okay.
I live in a block home built before 1920.
Oh, wow.
It's one of the better homes in town. And the fire department did get the fire out. However, yesterday's construction isn't like today's construction.
No, it's not.
So everything got contaminated with toxic soot. I had plaster walls. Behind plaster walls, you have plaster lath.
Yep.
Behind that, you have furring strips that's attached to, and then there's the block wall. The smoke got behind everything, attached itself to the block walls, everything. I lost everything between, I wasn't allowed back in the house for 2 weeks because of the fire investigation and the insurance companies and all the water. And I had all my canned goods in the basement. All that got broken all over the floor, burned. I walked back in here and it looked like a war zone. And the smell, it was ungodly. We had to clear all that out, down to the block walls. I've shown videos. It looked like a castle, but you walk in my front door, you look down, there's my basement floor.
Oh, wow.
And it's a 2-story home with an attic. So you look up and it's just all block wall and then my roof. And now I'm sitting on my second floor in my den, in my office. I pretty much rebuilt this myself. I had some help, here and there. My son, a couple other people, and it's appreciated. And yes, Renee, it was a Sears catalog house. Absolutely.
Oh, wow. And then we got Melissa.
I also was able to not only rebuild my house from the inside out, but I was able to rebuild myself from the inside out as well while I was doing it. I had to start at the foundation at the very bottom.
Okay, so just a question. Did the fire, what happened with the fire, as bad as it was, did that start jump-starting the healing process to take effect deeper? Like, did you go further into it?
I had already started the healing process.
Right.
And the learning process.
But then you get thrown the curveball.
But Spirit said I wasn't doing it fast enough. Let me help you. I was going through my home from top to bottom because I was kind of a hoarder, but not really.
Right.
But I kept all my kids' homeworks, receipts. I had love letters from high school sweethearts hidden. I was going, I'd start in the attic, going through stuff, getting rid of stuff, second floor, first floor, basement. Then I'd start the other way. And Spirit said, you know what? Here, let me help.
Jesus.
Here's a fire. Put it all in a dumpster. You're going to start over.
Oh, my God.
Everything's new.
So my question really right now, what I want to know is, how did you keep going?
Help from my friends and my family. support, and finally understanding that I had survived everything that I went through. Today's just another day.
But not only did you survive, you've kind of thrived because you have this understanding of everything that you went through. And with your podcast, you talk about it a lot, even on your private campfire sessions. I watch those sometimes. You talk about a lot of this personal experience.
Yeah,
so
because
you're able to share now.
I can help people by discussing what happened to me, because they might be going through the same thing.
Exactly.
Hey, this is what happened to me. This is what I did. This is how I thought. And maybe that can help them. They don't have to do the same, do it the same way I did.
Right.
But it might plant a seed that gets their subconscious working, because your subconscious works 24/7.
Yes, it does.
Day, night, when you're awake, you don't even realize it's working, but it is. So when you plant that seed, you say that sentence, they hear it, that is planting a seed. Now, somebody else may need to water it. Somebody else may need to fertilize it, but it may help them in the future. Might be tomorrow, might be 6 weeks, might be 6 months, might be 6 years. You don't know. But eventually that might help. And that's why I go out in the summer and light a fire and I just talk. That's why I talk on my shows about what's happened to me. If I can help one person out there, I'm happy.
Wow.
I'm happy.
Z-Sun says, like a phoenix rising from the ashes.
Interesting about that, because I'm a Scorpio. And there's 3 stages of Scorpio. You got your base Scorpio. Look at me wrong, I'll rip your head off.
Yeah.
And then, okay, something's not right. Let's fly a little higher and look down and see what's going on. That's the ego. And then you realize your whole life's been screwed, and you have that dark night in the soul, burn yourself in the ashes, and then all of a sudden you stand up like the phoenix.
Wow. I mean, you have definitely been through a lot, but when you were, the thing that throws me is everything that you've been through. Like me, the moment that curveball hits, because you got thrown a curveball as you're rebuilding your house.
Yeah.
That would have just like really type thing going on, because you get hit with this curveball because you had the financial backing as far as getting the house done, and then the curveball comes in.
Oh yeah. I normally use the word scammed, but I was doing some online trading and somebody was watching my internet. They got through my firewall. And I was in the process of helping some clients, talking to some people while trying to make a trade, trying to get stuff done around the house. I was in a hurry. I wasn't paying attention. And I was going through a broker called Ally Financial, ALLY, which is a real company. And somebody switched the brokerage company to their fake website, ALY Financial, with the same background picture, and I didn't catch it. One letter, boom. All my insurance company gone. And I had quit my job in order to rebuild my home, because I had enough to where I could rebuild my home, not work for 3 years, finish my home, write my books, and then if I needed to get a job, I could get another job. Well, that changed. All of a sudden, I had nothing. And, I had 5 or 6 credit cards, and I used those, when I went to Menards and Home Depot. I'd max them out, and at the end of the month, I'd pay them off. Well, I couldn't. And then the late fees and the over limit fees and everything escalated, and I had no choice but to file bankruptcy and get a job.
But you were able to keep your house through the bankruptcy, correct?
Yeah, because in order to get the funds from the insurance company for the damage to the house, I had to pay off the $69,000 that I still owed on the house.
Oh boy.
I had to repay the mortgage payment before I could access those funds. So I finally talked them into reimbursing me for my personal loss, my desk, my computer,
right,
my clothes, what have you. So I cashed that check, paid my mortgage off, then I could get the funds for the house damage. And that's what got taken. So this has been a hell of a journey. And I used to think all of this was a curse, but Spirit has blessed me enough to put me on both sides of the aisle. Hey, here's all this money. I got myself a new vehicle. It's going to last me a long time.
Right.
I paid some things off. I was able to buy enough wood at one shot to get me this far. Get all my wiring, all my plumbing. I was able to do all that myself. But then all of a sudden, I'm here in 2/3 of a house and can't finish it yet. So I changed the way I was going to do things. I was going to replaster everything and put it back to original.
Right.
Can't do that. So I've been taking free pallets and tearing them apart and letting the wood dry out. And my bathroom, it's all pallets. It's pallet wood on the walls and the ceiling, but it's kind of a log cabin-y feel. It's kind of cool. So I think, I may do that with the rest of the house because I don't really have any other choice. But hi, Thor. Hang on. Hi, buddy. Come here. Oh, it's my buddy.
Oh my God, he was so young when I first seen him.
That's Thor.
Wow.
Mwah. He's like, what are you doing?
You as an individual literally have been to hell and back again. But
Yeah.
I honestly, I sit here and I wonder how you stayed above board. But do you feel that with the podcast and everything that you talk about, does that help you knowing that psychologically speaking, you would put it in terms of you can help so many other people with what you have been through?
Yes.
So does that help even more?
Yes, because like I said, Spirit has put me on both sides
Right.
of so many situations, both being attacked by a narcissist and being the narcissist. But I had to sit here and heal in order to be able to see and understand that.
Right.
I had to learn, okay, what is a narcissist? What is codependency? I figured out that my biggest fear in life was being alone due to that day when I was 6.
Yes.
Where I was left alone. Abandonment issues. You have to see what is wrong with you and understand what is wrong with you, and then admit you have these issues and then learn how to heal them. And it sucks, but it will set your tail free in so many ways. Do I still have issues here and there? I'm right. I'm human.
Oh, yeah.
I have my good days and I have my bad days. Renee has saved me many nights. Hey, life ain't so grand. Can we talk? And she gets me turned around. I've done the same for her, same for other people. Other people have done the same for me. Howie, same, the founder of the RNN.
Yeah.
Somebody put a rift between us for a while.
Wow.
My last ex. That was a 9-month learning experience. I call it a learning experience,
Exactly.
not a relationship. Because I learned a lot about myself and about other people. And I learned that when I drop the boundaries that I've already set in order to accept somebody in my life, bad things are going to happen. So I have set boundaries in my life as to who I am willing to let into my life.
Right.
You got to pass the smell test. Not like that. You got to be working on yourself. You got to support yourself.
Yeah.
I want I can never say the word. I want things to be reciprocal. Both put into the relationship.
Exactly.
Not one take from the other.
Exactly.
And it's
Reciprocated.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's going, like this country song says, it's going to take one hell of an angel.
Yes.
So one of these days. But
Now,
for now, I'm still growing.
You're going to write this book because what you have been through is an amazing story in itself. It's a story of survival and perseverance, and this would sell.
Yes. I started, and then the house fire happened, and it was on my PC,
Uh-oh.
and the fire fried the PC.
Damn.
But I saved the hard drives out of it for some reason, just in case. And not too long ago, a couple months ago, I was finally able to access those hard drives. They survived.
Yes.
What I started writing is there.
Good.
The PC that I bought to put them into is very slow and really ticks me off. So I'm going to have to get something else, but it was very inexpensive.
Right.
I bought an adapter that you could just plug your hard drives in and plug it in your laptop, but I couldn't access everything I needed to in order to find things.
Right.
Plus, there were things on there that I need to just delete. Video conversations, phone conversations, pictures, what have you.
Right.
And that was back here just egging me.
Right.
You need to do this. Could I have smashed the drive with a hammer and tossed it in the trash? Yes. But that is not going through things specifically to see why I need to allow that to exit my life while I keep the pictures of my kids that were on those drives.
Wow.
Those happy moments. I needed to separate that.
Yep.
And I finally got to the point where I can do it. It's just taking some time because, my God, I take a lot of pictures.
Hey, don't look at me. I got a big tote full of pictures. So,
You know,
yeah.
I'm 55. I'm going to age myself. I'm 55. I remember Grandpa using a camera with a flash cube, and then you'd have to put another one in or take
Oh,
it out.
yeah. Yeah. I'm older than that. So, yeah.
And then the Polaroid.
Yes.
And then, but taking your film to 1 hour video.
Right.
You'd have to wait an hour, before that a week, to figure out, okay, we really took some pictures. Now it's click. Oh yeah, nope, delete.
Yeah. Can't do that anymore. What would you recommend to somebody who is having a similar psychological experience to what you have been through? What would be your biggest recommendation to them?
Find the strength to ask for help. And if you have to, the first step may be asking yourself for help.
You got to write this book.
Think about that.
Yeah.
And then this is why I want to read the book. I want to write the book. I want to write it two different ways. I want to write it, as science fiction and paranormal, but I want to put the truth out as well. So I might do that in the same book, but have a separator page in the middle where you have to actually turn the book upside down in order to read the other half. And I would love to make it into a movie. I used to know a Hollywood director that wanted it to write a screenplay. But sadly, he passed on because that was my dream. That was my vision, and I kind of gave up on it when he passed on.
Don't give up. It's not time
get
yet.
It into a movie, not for me personally, but to help other people. But if I can support myself by helping other people, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
We learn every time we watch a TV show, even if we don't realize it. I'll sit down and binge watch a Netflix series. I'll be scrolling. Okay, this looks good.
Yeah, guilty. Yeah.
And life lessons come through about my dad, about my mom, about my sister, my friends, myself. And I will grab my phone and record a certain part of it and save it so I can watch it again the next day, just because I want to get that message again.
Wow. Somebody else saying she's 55. Girl, I'm going to be 60 this year. Talk to me when you're that age.
Double nickel. That's double five. Five is change. So 5 is double change.
Yeah, I'm going to be 60.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's all right. I can still get up. I can still walk and everything else. I
And
mean,
just so everybody knows, just so the ladies know, yes, I am single, but I've got like a 5-year behind me and 5-year above me. Kind of that's my boundary. So just saying.
I honestly think, considering everything that you've been through and all the lessons you've learned, and you're still here. And not only are you here, you're doing the Otters Den, you have the paranormal team. It's truly, I'd have to say that you really are an amazing individual. And
Thank you.
I did not know you this well. And now that I know who you are as an individual, you're very blessed.
Thank you.
You're very blessed to come as far as you have.
Thank you. I agree. I don't want to sound, I don't want to be that guy.
Oh, honey, at our age, toot your own horn. Really, go for it, because I do.
I agree. Because like I said, I used to think my life was hell. I used to think I was cursed.
Right.
And in a roundabout way, I was. But I beat that.
You did.
I found the knowledge. I found the strength in order to overcome it. And that took a lot, because in order to do that, I had to admit to myself that I had done things in the past that I am not proud of.
We all have.
I have lied.
Yep.
I have cheated.
Yeah.
I have stolen.
Yeah.
Name all the sins.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Been there, done it. Just probably 5 years before you, but that's okay.
But with me saying that,
Yeah.
there ain't nobody out there that got anything on me, because I just admitted to everything I've done.
Exactly.
So,
And exactly. This is what I want to do, guys. Literally, right now. This is what I want to do. I want to ask Keith, what is it somebody can do to help you rebuild your house? Say if somebody's got wood out there or got nails or whatever it is you need. Tell everybody now what you need to help you.
hang on. I will put a link up.
Did it go up?
Yeah. I'm logging in.
Ah, all right. Let's help him finish, so this way he can get the book out, so we can read the book. We can't read the book till he finishes the book, but he can't finish the book until he does the other stuff. So let's get this going.
357-548. 357-548.
Oh wow.
Okay, hang on. There we go.
Helps a lot, and Keith has a great one. Wow. You were the student, and now you are the teacher from Renee. I am blessed to have you as a teacher. Let's
And I'm blessed to have you as a student. I'm posting a link to my GoFundMe. I have a GoFundMe to help me with home expenses.
Post it. You got it? Okay, so Keith's GoFundMe is up there now. Now, we don't normally toot our own horns or ask for help as hosts, but Keith isn't here as a host. Keith is here as my guest. So, and I'm saying, guys, please help my guest, okay?
Thank you for that.
Because everything that he has been through as an individual, and you guys see us as doing this and doing that, but now you really know the story behind the story of him. And this is why he needs to help him. This is why. So literally, give him a hand, guys. Okay, help him out. Literally, you ain't got any money. You live next to him. You got some wood. Find out where he lives and drop it off. Or go to his work and tell him, hey, I got a load for you. I'm going to drop it off. Do what you can to give him a hand. Okay, because I want to read this book.
It really is. But I'm supposed to also say this for somebody watching right now.
Okay.
Dealing with the paranormal can also take a toll on your health.
Yes.
That misword right there was from my teeth. I have a lot of health issues that I need to get taken care of also.
Yeah.
So the longer you deal with the paranormal issues, the longer your health can deteriorate. The one thing about the thing that was in me, it always kept me young. It always kept me feeling great. Yeah. But as soon as it was pulled within a year, it all caught up.
Yeah, the walls came tumbling down.
All caught up.
Yeah.
Because up to that point, I was still getting carded for alcohol and cigarettes.
Wow.
And it was rough seeing the difference in myself. But I actually look better now than I did on the show because my health was so degraded at that time. I couldn't see it myself because when I looked in the mirror, I still saw myself as young.
Huh.
Everybody else saw me as young. And as soon as that thing was pulled out, no, here, you need to see what this did to you.
Yeah, it's done a lot. Oh my God. I can't believe, literally, it feels like you just sat down here. Literally. It feels like Keith just sat down with us. And, you know, we've been on. Do you have any last minute advice, except help Keith finish his house? Do you have any last minute advice that you would, I can't be serious all the time. It's not in me. So do you have any last minute advice for anybody out there? Oh, and finish your book. Any last minute advice for individuals out there?
That's true.
Yeah, he was a different person on that show.
That's true.
Yeah. Do you have any last minute advice or anything else that you, I mean, you have, like I said, you have literally rising from the ashes like a phoenix, like somebody else said. I mean, that's an amazing way to put it. And I don't think that you're done with what it is that you are supposed to do as an individual. Oh, sorry. On another note, in your past life, you were a Viking, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah. I just, they showed me that, so I figured I'd tell you.
Yes.
Yes. So, but yeah, do you have any last minute advice for anybody?
I do.
Okay.
As I said before, if you need help, reach out and ask for it, even if that is asking for yourself for the strength to ask for help. But understand that you aren't always right.
Bingo.
Especially about yourself. Take the advice and the constructive criticism of others as a learning and growing tool. And most importantly, set boundaries for yourself, for your kids, for your family.
Exactly.
Boundaries. Here's a line. This is okay. This is a hard no. If the other person has an issue with your no, it's not your issue. It's theirs.
Bingo.
They need to go look in the mirror and find out why.
I agree.
Okay, on here every day. TikTok. I have a TikTok because I like making funny videos with the filter. Okay, that's why I have TikTok. But every day, I have Hannah Barone or even Kate. I don't know who those people are. Just saying.
Yeah.
But Hannah Barone 1403. Okay, that's means that 1402 is already taken. So there's 14,002 Hannah Barones out there somewhere.
Wow.
No. Block.
Huh.
Block.
Yeah.
Because they would reach out to me in messaging on TikTok. And it's like these scammers have a cheat sheet that they use.
Yes. Yes.
Where do you live? How old are you?
Yes.
Where are you from? This. It's the same questions. Go follow me over here on this app.
Yes. We actually get that in the show. That's why I don't put the runner up anymore in the shows, because it's not important.
I will tell them, okay, I will go follow you here if I can find you. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to video call you to verify who you are.
Right.
I video call. Block. They block me because I video called them to verify.
Yeah.
If you're a real person, that's all I ask. Give me a 5-minute video call. Hey, I'm me. You're you. Cool. Let's chat.
Yeah, I agree.
That's all I ask. But yet I am made the asshole
right
for doing that because I am setting a boundary and asking for proof of, are you a real person?
But see, in today's day and age, it's something you kind of have to do, because way back when I was growing up, you didn't have to worry about that.
The dating apps are the same way.
Never been on one, never will be.
I've tried them. It's scary out there.
I don't do dating apps. When my husband passed, I was alone for 11 years. I had no issue with it. And then I've got this man that literally came outside to talk to me because I was taking pictures of the full moon with my camera. And that's how we met. Simple. No dating apps. Don't do dating apps. It's not my thing.
That's kind of what I'm waiting for. Just that chance
meeting. And it's amazing. I mean, literally, we feel like we've been together forever because it was meant to be. And to me, that's what it's about. I do see you're going to have your chance meeting. So let's help him finish his house so we can write the book and have his chance meeting.
I appreciate you. I really do.
I'm a natural goofball, but I got to throw that out there all the time. So, yeah. So chance meetings are the best because, dating apps nowadays, if you were to explain somebody on a dating app everything that you've been through, they go, yeah, I'll see you. And off they would go.
You're not wrong. You were not wrong.
Because they're not looking at who you are, where you come from, and who you are now.
That is one thing that scares the hell out of me, because in an honest relationship, you need to be vulnerable with your partner. Every time I have been vulnerable with my partner, it gets turned around against me.
Yes.
And used against me.
Yes.
For them to use those narcissistic tactics.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying.
Yes.
So if I'm going to open up to somebody, you need to gain my trust. And I'm a Scorpio, Aries, Sag. It's going to take a lot to gain my trust. I am going to squint eye you for a long time. Just saying. And you can squint eye me back. That's fine. But the thing is, we need to have open, honest communication.
Yes. I think that's what the world is. That's what's lacking nowadays.
Not one person saying, okay, hey, can we video chat tonight? So I can see you, you can see me, we can get each other's vibe. Because just messaging, that's not see the other person. You need to see their body language.
Yes.
You need it all. And if they're not willing to do that, that's saying something.
Yeah.
They don't text back for 3 days.
Like what you got on underneath that makeup. I mean, the first date I had with him, I didn't wear makeup. None.
Okay.
Because this is me. This is who I am.
I'm going to go there. I am going to go there with the makeup.
I don't agree with that. You're going to paint your face. You take it off. You don't look the same.
My last lesson would spend 2 hours a day in the morning putting her makeup on.
Why?
And I kept telling me, you don't have to do that. I love you the way you are. And she's like, okay, do you know how you go out on the front porch in the morning and have your smoke and your coffee and hit your notifications and do your ground before you go to work? I'm like, yeah, this is my ground. Okay, I can understand that. But just know that you don't have to for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I just never understood that concept. I never did.
But wait, there's more.
Uh-oh.
She told all of her friends that I forced her to do that.
Forced her to put on her makeup?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so she could be pretty enough for me to take out in public.
Wow.
And I didn't want to make a water because she was figuring it out.
I'm going to tell you something right here and now, ladies, from experience. You're talking to an old broad over here, okay? I'm going to be 60 in June, and I'll tell you that, and I don't care who knows. Look at my skin. I'm going to be 60. Do you know why it looks like this? I don't pound it down with makeup. Just a word of advice for all you youngsters.
I don't either, but life's been a little rough.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so... cut down the makeup, guys. Cut it down. Cut it down. It's not worth it.
Well,
let people see you out in here.
Hang on.
I see what they need to see.
I see Heidi's comment here.
Okay.
And then he's like, what are you doing with all that makeup? Going somewhere? I didn't think that for a long time until I started doing the Scorpio detective thing when the mask burned off.
Yep.
And then I found out who she was talking to, what she was saying. A Scorpio will find out anything if they want to. We will find out.
Oh, yeah.
That's the reason.
Exactly.
I want to be able to trust somebody completely, and I want somebody to be able
and
to.
I finally have that. I finally have that.
I'm happy for you.
Yes, finally. Took a long time.
I'm happy for you.
Oh, the bug lashes? I don't even get the duck lips that people post online. What the heck is a bug lash? I'm still thrown by the duck lips. What a bug lash.
I don't know what bug lashes are.
I know the duck lip, but why would you sit there and look like you got a duck's butt? I don't get that.
I got you.
Oh my God, it's too funny. Directed towards Keith. See, you know, it is. But this was actually, it was an awesome show. It was very informative, and I really hope that you do get some help from this show, because eyelashes too long. I was born with long eyelashes. I can't help that. But when you go out and have them surgically put on, that's just dumb.
If I walk up to give somebody a kiss and their eyelashes hit mine first, no, that ain't right. That ain't right. And okay, ladies, I know you love your lipstick. Maybe you do, maybe you don't.
Nah.
But I don't need that because it gets all over here and it makes me look funny.
Yeah, and then you can get it on your face. Even makeup guys, literally, you go to give a guy a hug and he gets it all over his face.
Okay.
He gets it on his shirt and his clothes. He's going to take it off. I don't know.
I'm going to say this as a health thing. Look up the ingredients in your makeup. And look up what each ingredient is made out of. And then put that on your face.
Yes. Don't do it. Literally, I'm telling you. Word of advice.
I dare you.
Do not do it. Use good moisturizer, good eye cream, no stress. You know, that's the way to go. Be yourself, because eventually they're going to see you without makeup anyway. So what's the point?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I don't get it. What's the point? I don't get it.
I want somebody to love me at my worst.
Bingo.
And then, okay, I love you enough to be at my best.
Exactly.
But not cover myself up in being at my best.
Exactly.
How's that?
We had to end this show on a comedic note where actually a female's agreeing with the guy over the makeup thing, because I never understood it. I never will, never had. I mean, my sister would take hours just to go to the store for my mother. I'd grab a hat and put it on my head.
Okay, my favorite thing. Okay, I'm being vulnerable here.
Okay.
Okay, my favorite thing would be to wake up to the smell of coffee.
Oh, yes.
Walk in the kitchen and see my partner there, hair everywhere, no makeup, white t-shirt, slippers.
Yep.
There she is.
Natural.
Yes.
Oh, natural.
And I could do the same thing for her. I could get up and go downstairs and make coffee.
Yep.
And she could see me standing there in my flannel, and because I get cold easy. And the same thing. You know, the next thing you know, we're on. Never mind. I'm just going to shut up right there.
Yeah, okay. We know what direction he's going into, and he's still single, so we'll leave that. I got jammy pants sometimes. Yeah, it's just, guys, literally, we had to end this on a bit goofy note. It's a very serious show, but literally be natural. Now you guys truly know who he is, okay, as an individual, and that's what this show's about. The show is about people, ordinary people, literally sharing their stories and helping everybody else. And Keith, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
It was an amazing show. It really was.
Do you mind real quick if I put my link up for the Otters Den?
Good.
There we go. So come follow me on the Otters Den. I go on at least every other Monday with Joni Skinner.
Yeah.
And she talks about the astrology, and I talk about how to get through the astrology in life terms and spirituality.
And I'm so
And
lost when it comes to astrology.
we do get political a little bit, but
Yeah.
the astrology has to do with that too. And that helps to understand how to get
She's
through
amazing.
everything that we got going
Yeah,
on. Because it
she's
is
absolutely
crazy out there.
amazing with astrology. I
Yeah.
love Keith and his commentary, and sometimes with certain words come, he gets up and he goes to take off. I'm sorry, it's a good show. You guys got to watch it. Every show on the Rift Nation Network is amazing. So
when-
just literally stick with it. I love it. I love this network.
When she tells me X's are coming back,
Yeah, no, been there, done that. And he takes off. He takes off every time.
I got to go lock that door.
Hey, I'm lucky. Mine can't come back. That's a good thing. So,
Thank you
all
for
right.
having me on tonight.
Oh, no, thank you for coming on. Next week, I'm not sure what the topic's going to be, what I'm going to do. But then again, I'm a Gemini. I'm the goofy June Gemini. So you never know what the heck's going to come out of my mouth. So, but don't forget, tomorrow night, new show, guys, Uncharted Realms. Do not miss that show.
On the
Come help
RNN.
these girls out. It's going to be a really fun time. They have an amazing guest. It's going to be really awesome. The Thursdays, woo, don't forget Thursdays, Double Dash, your favorite old broad. Come on over and take a peek, get some readings, get some inspiration. Boom, boom, all for one. So I got to say, peace, guys. Love you. Thank you again, Keith.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Boy.